Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending this professional meeting. Today, we're acting as members of the Student Innovation Unit to evaluate the Group 3's proposed solutions on healthier lifestyle and workplace wellness. And our meeting will cover four agenda items, reviewing the proposed solutions, discussing their feasibility, deciding on the best solution, and suggesting follow-up actions. And if everyone is ready, let's begin with the first agenda, LIUCHENJIE. And please introduce the Group 3's main issue and the first two solutions.
Thank you, Chairperson. Group 3 focuses on a common issue. Many students and working adults want to stay healthy, but busy schedules and constant pressure make healthy habits difficult to maintain. Because of that, wellness is often seen as extra work instead of part of daily routine. The first proposed solution is a micro-learning wellness app. It offers short and simple actions such as breathing exercises, posture correction, eye relaxation, and basic nutrition tips. Its strength is that it is easy to adopt because the tasks are short and realistic. However, its weakness is that the impact may be limited if users do not use it consistently. The risk is that it may feel too similar to general wellness apps already available. The second proposed solution is a smart posture and break reminder system. This system reminds users to adjust posture, rest their eyes, stand up, and stretch during work or study hours. I think this is one of the strongest options because it directly addresses a very common daily problem caused by long hours in front of screens. The weakness is that users may ignore repeated reminders over time. Its risk is that the system only works well if users respond consistently. Even so, I believe solution 2 is a practical and highly relevant to daily working life.
Wow, okay, thank you, LIUCHENJIE. That was a clear overview. I agree that the solution two is practical, right? But a reminder system alone may not be enough to support overview awareness. And before we move on, so I think I would like to highlight the one point from LIUCHENJIE's analysis. So what makes the solution two especially relevant is that it addresses a problem people can immediately recognizing their own daily routine. And many students and workers already experience the eye strain, poor posture, and physical discomfort from the setting too long. Because the problem is familiar, the proposer's response is also easier for users to understand and accept. And that gives this solution an advantage when we evaluate the feasibility. So Yang Chen, please continue with the solution three.
Okay, thank you, Chairperson. The third proposed solution is the smart meal and hydration planner. The system helps users manage eating and drinking habits through personalized suggestions, reminders, and schedule-based planning. Its main strength is personalization. It supports users who often skip meals, forget to drinking water, or lose energy because of busy routines. Its weakness is that it requires user input and regular tracking. The risk is that user may stop using it if it feels repetitive or inconvenient. I would also like to point out that this solution addresses a problem that is often underestimated. Many people think hydration and meal timing are small issues, but in reality, they affect concentrations, energy level, mood, and even patience during the day. When people are busy, they often delay meals, drinking too little water, and depend on whatever food is most convenient. Over time, that pattern can reduce both physical wellness and work performance. So I think solution 3 is useful because it turns something people already know is important into a more manageable and structured daily practice. Even so, I think solution 3 is valuable because it complements solution 2. Solution 2 focuses on portraits and bricks, while solution 3 focuses on nutrition and hydration. Together, they create a more complete daily wellness routine.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you, John Chen. So that's an important point. So far, the solution two and the three appear practical and balanced, right? At this stage of the discussion, I think it's useful to remember that our role is not only to identify the interesting solutions, but also to examine how well we respond to the actual issue presented by the group three. And the issue is not simply a lack of awareness, and it's it's the difficulty of the maintaining healthy habits consistently in a busy environment. So when we compare the solutions, we should keep asking whether they are realistic, sustainable, and suitable for daily use. So before making a decision, we should also consider the more innovative ideas. And Peng Zhongyang, please evaluate the solution four.
Thank you, Chairperson. Solution 4 is the AI emotion and burnout detection system. It aims to detect burnout earlier by combining mood check-ins with work-related indicators such as overtime patterns, meeting load, break frequency, and behavioral trends. Its strength is innovation. It is more preventive than simple reminder systems and may help identify burnout before it becomes serious. However, its weakness is complexity. It requires more advanced technology, more data collection, and more careful implementation. Its main risk is privacy because emotional and behavioral data are sensitive. For that reason, I think solution 4 is impressive, but not the most feasible choice for our final recommendation. Honestly, it is better as a future direction than as the most practical immediate solution.
Okay, thank you, Peng Zhongyang. I agree that the solution four is innovative, right? But it's also more difficult to implement and more sensitive in terms of privacy. And since our task is evaluate the most viable the option, practicality should remain a key criterion. I will also add that this is an example of the idea that may be strong in concept, but harder to apply immediately. In many assessments, is tempting to choose the most advanced or most impressive sounding solution. However, in a professional meeting, the stronger recommendation is often the one that can move from discussion to implementation with fewer barriers. And this is why I think we need to distinguish clearly between innovation value and implementation value, right? So Dujunrui, please continue with the solution for five and then suggest the possible follow-up actions.
Okay, thank you, Chairperson. Solution 5 is Scheme-Failed Workplace Wellness Program. It uses points, recognitions, and incentives to encourage health habits. Its strength is engagement. A reward-based system can motivate people to participate more consistently. However, its weakness is that motivation may drop when the narrative of rewards disappears. Its main risk is that the incentive system must be designed carefully to remain meaningful and fair. In my opinion, Solution 5 is useful, but it is still less direct and less stable than the combination of Solution 2 and 3. If we choose that combination, I suggest four follow-up actions. The first one is develop a applied version. Second is test it with a small target group. The third is collect feedback. And the final is improve the system before wider implementation.
Okay, thank you, Du Junrui. We have now reviewed all five proposed solutions and discussed their feasibility, right? To summarize briefly, solution 1 is realistic but limited in impact. Solution 2 is practical and directly addresses the posture and break habits. And solution 3 supports the healthier eating and hydration routines. Solution 4 is innovative but more complex and risky in terms of privacy. And solution 5 is engaging, but its long-term effectiveness may depend too much on incentives. And from my point of view, the combination of the solution 2 and 3 is the most suitable. It's practical, balanced, and easier to implement than a more advanced AI-based system. Liu do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree. Solution 2 is already strong because it addresses a common physical issue in work and study settings. When it is combined with Solution 3, the recommendation becomes more complete because it supports both physical movement and healthier daily habits. I will also say that this combination is easier to explain and promote to users. People are more likely to accept a system if they immediately understand its purpose. A posture and break reminder system is simple to understand, and a meal and hydration planner is also easy to relate to. When the two are combined, the messages become clear. The system helps users to take care of both their body movement and their daily routine in a realistic way.
Okay. So Yangchen, would you like to add anything before we confirm the final decision?
Yes, I suppose the combination as well. The key advantage is balance. One solution improves physical comfort during the day, while the other helps users build healthier routines in a manageable and personalized way.
Okay, thank you. So Pengjeng, do you have any final remarks on why this combination is preferable to solution 4?
Yes, although solution 4 is more technologically advanced, it is not the most feasible immediate option. Our selected combination is easier to implement, less risky in terms of privacy, and still offers practical value to users.
Thank you. Uh, it's turn to DUJUNRUI. And please restate the follow-up action so that we can formally record them.
Okay, certainly. The first follow-up action is to design applied version that combines posture reminders with meal and hydration planning tools. The second is to test the applied with a small group of users. The third is to gather feedback on usability and consistency. The fourth is to improve the solution before wider implementation.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all for you guys. Though based on our discussion, we have agreed to recommend a combination of the solution two, right? The smart posture and break reminder the system, and the solution three, the smart meal and the hydration planner. We have selected this combination for three reasons. First, it's practical and realistic for data use. The second, it addresses both physical comfort and healthy routine management. Third, it's easier to implement than more complex AI-based system. And we have also agreed on four follow-up actions to develop a pilot version, test it with a target group, collect the user feedback, and refine the system before a wider implementation. So, as a chairperson, I would like to emphasize that this recommendation is not only balanced but also realistic from from my implementation point of view. A professional meeting should not end with a choice that sounds attractive but it's difficult to apply. Instead, it should lead to a decision that can reasonable move forward after discussion. In our case, the selected combination does exactly that, and it responds to visible data needs such as posture, breaks, hydration, and routine management, while still remaining simple enough to pilot in a practical setting. I also think decision reflects the purpose of our role as members of the Student Innovation Unit. We are not only the comparing ideas based on the creativity, we are also judging which option will be the most useful, most acceptable to users, and most achievable in real time. And from that perspective, uh, uh, the combined the solution gives us the strongest balance between usefulness, feasibility, and sustainability. It also leaves room for future expansion because more advanced the functions or engagement features could still be could still be added later if the pilot is successful. If we look back at the full discussion, another strength of this recommendation is that it responds to this issue at both an immediate and a routine level. On the immediate level, posture reminders and break promotes can reduce the discomfort during the study or the work hours. On the routine level, the meal and hydration planning can improve the consistency in basic healthy management. This is important because the issue raised by the group three is not caused by the one single factor, and it comes from a combination of busy schedules, stress, poor habits, and difficulties sustaining self-care. A combined solution is therefore more appropriate than a single narrow tool. I believe this final decision reflects a balanced evaluation of all the options presented by the group three. We recognize that the group proposed the several meaningful ideas, including highly innovative ones. However, our final responsibility is to recommend the option that is most practical, most management, and most likely to create a real improvement for users in daily life. And for that reason, the combined solution stands out as the most appropriate recommendation. So thank you everyone for your valuable contributions, right? Today we have reviewed the Group three's proposed solutions and discussed their feasibility and reached the final decision and identify the follow-up actions. And with that, the meeting is adjourned.